Welcome, everyone, to another episode of How the Hell Was This a Hit? Who the hell am I? I'm Kirk Buchner. I run NotInHallOfFame.com along with Evan Nolan. He's not here, but we also do Fictitious Athlete Hall of Fame, Fictitious Rock and Roll Hall of Fame, and the United States Athletic Hall of Fame. But I'm doing this with Andrea Tessmann and apparently Opal. Opal.
She's making a rare guest appearance.
Yeah,
she's hiding.
Such a good girl.
Opal's there because Winnie's not here, and Brad Nelson. Not that I'm putting Opal over Winnie, or Opal over Brad. Sorry.
No, dude, I will take second or back seat to Opal any day. That's a good girl.
There's a joke there. I just don't know what it is.
No, that's a bestiality thing. Let's leave it alone.
Well done. And before we sort of like look at the song that we are going to do, which is White and Nerdy by Weird Al Yankovic, I just want to sort of like give a bit of props to those who have made some comments in the little past. For those who have sort of like looked at the Vanity show that we did, thank you. Because Vanity 6, apparently, Brad, this is on you. And me, really, but more on you.
What did I do?
No, you didn't do anything. But somebody commented, like, when I asked, why did they call them Vanity 6 or Apollonia 6? Apparently it was 6 boobs.
Oh.
3 women.
6 boobs? Okay. I thought it was just because Prince liked the number. He's always been big into numerology and symbology. Symbology.
Yeah, but he's also the same person who wanted to call her vagina.
That's true. He did want to start off as vagina 6.
Yeah, so there was a comment that says that's why it was 6. So you would have think that one of us, mainly you, would have came up with that. Yeah, pervy Muppet, you screwed up.
Yay! But yeah, you're right. I should have thought of the tit angle, and I did not. I missed the tit angle, which is weird for me because I usually don't miss a tit. What?
What?
I'm allowed to appreciate a big old titty. It's okay. Even a little titty, they're great too. Like the in-betweeners, they're fantastic. Every boob is sacred.
Mine's kind of hairy.
Oh, I'll get on it.
Well, despite this titulating conversation, how about we get on with the subject?
Holy crap. You know, this is the best time that you've ever brought us back on track with a pun. I mean, like, I just want to end the show right here. I don't even want to continue because this was so awesome with what you just did. But yes.
If you edited, then we should put the tit conversation at the back of the show then. But you don't, so Andrea shot her wad early and she's done for the night.
That's it. I'm out. See you later.
Well, not the first time that somebody shot the water on Andrea, but anyway. Thank you. Thank you.
Tip your servers. He's here all night.
Okay. Well, I'm gonna crash out pretty soon, but anyway. Brad, I'm gonna give this to you because you picked this one. Since even in the before times, the pre-Brad era, Andrew and I have talked about Weird Al in multiple ways, but we've never done a Weird Al one. And we're looking at White and Nerdy by Weird Al Yankovic. Technically, his biggest hit in terms of the Billboard chart. Why this song? Is that why, or?
I did look at the song that charted the highest and went with that because there are other ones that I like more.
Okay.
Because I mean, I grew up on passing around tapes of Dr. Demento, and Weird Al was on there as well, stuff like that, and hearing Weird Al doing "Eat It" when Michael Jackson's "Beat It" had just come out, that kind of a thing, and because I don't know if you guys know this or not, but I'm a little bit of a nerd. Yeah, I know. Shocking, surprise.
2 decades into our friendship, and I'm just finding this out now, Brad.
Yeah. Yeah, that's why our Facebook chat group is Nerdcast. But anyway.
So anyway, I grew up with
the coolest one Andrea sort of like came up with. I just want to point out, Andrea is the reason why a bunch of incels say, "Mom, I have a chance." But anyway.
So growing up on Weird Al, I even wrote my own Weird Al parody song.
No way.
Oh,
You
dude,
parodied
yeah.
a parody?
No, I was listening to Weird Al songs, listening to him do stuff like, Eat It and all that other stuff, and a lot of his stuff was food based. A lot of his music was his parodies were based around food, and so I had listened to Huey Lewis and the News and decided that Hip to Eat Pears would be a great one to create, and be damned if I could find the lyrics that I came up with or even remember them. But I remember I used to suck on oranges or a pint of grapefruit juice, but after all that fruity stuff, my bowels became too loose. And then it's just, it went on like that, and it was Weird Al-ish. It was probably grosser than what Weird Al would do, but it's Hip to Eat Pears, so I liked the guy. And this one was the one that for him that charted the highest. And stop both looking at me like that with that look of bemusement and also shame that you know me.
No, I think it's great.
Yeah. I'm gonna go with you were young, probably a preteen-ish around the time.
Yeah.
But also, I think you would still write something like that nowadays. So continue on.
Yeah, there'd be boobs in it somewhere, though.
Mm.
A man has to, make room for his hobbies.
Yeah,
So you like Weird Al? You picked his top charting song, which
Also
was
like
the
boobs. I
only
don't know if
one
I mentioned.
that's made it into the Billboard Top 10. First and only, I believe, to date.
Yes. So I thought it was kind of cool because, honestly, Riding Dirty, pretty cool song. And then Weird Al taking that, and Chameleonaire even admitted to Weird Al afterwards and said, I knew this was going to be a big song when you asked for permission to cover it. So Weird Al
he won a Grammy for it, and he basically said, yeah, he knew it was going to be the song of the year when Weird Al covered it.
Yeah, because Weird Al might not be a hit maker, but he can take the song and introduce it to another group of people. And I think with this one here, and the reason why it charted as high as it did, is because Chameleonaire had traction in the R&B circles, and Weird Al had traction in the nerd circles. And so combining those two worlds, you got a lot of ears on this thing.
He also did a really good job. I don't think he's rapped in anything before.
Amish Paradise.
Oh, that's right. Yes, that's true.
It doesn't feel like that one was so much of a rap, just more of a spoken word. But yeah, but still.
But yeah, he did service to the genre. Like he actually kept it true, which he always does, kept it true to form. But I have to say my nephew, when he was about 10, discovered this song, and it was just on loop for I think a whole summer. Yeah. So he's too cool for that now. He's 14.
Front lawn. I like the fact that there's so many cameos in this too. It starts off with Key and Peele and just keeps going.
Oh, you've got what?
Judy Tenuta's in this.
Yep.
What Judy? I missed that when I watched.
She was the lady holding the power.
The power. Protector. Yeah. The power bar.
Mm-hmm.
I should not have missed that. She's the only other accordion player of any kind of.
Judy Tenuta, man, I still remember catching her on Just for Laughs.
She's still alive.
I don't know. She must be.
She didn't look that old, and
no. But I thought her or her then longtime boyfriend Emo Phillips might have died. One of those two.
Judy Tenuta. Oh no, she died in October the 6th, 2022.
Okay, yeah, I knew either her or boyfriend died, or longtime partner.
Emo Phillips was a dude I could never.
Well, yeah, same. I didn't find him particularly funny either.
Unfortunately, he's still alive.
Yeah,
God could have taken the talented one, but obviously couldn't be arsed.
Wham, wham. I think I think what I get the biggest kick out of, and I just look at my own, to your point, Brad, like your own personal history, like you were looking at this when you were a kid, like you were passing around tapes. So like I remember one of the first albums I ever had was Weird Al in 3D. It's probably like the first 10 actual physical vinyl albums that I had. But even like, but I was like 11 or 12 thinking, well, this is kind of cool, but there's no way this guy's gonna last. So if you would have told me at 12, thinking, okay, this guy's funny, but he's a goofball, in my limited understanding of pop culture and music, because sometimes I get it right, more often I get it right. And when I do get it right, I will tell you. And I will be very, very
smug
about it. And
smug is the word you're looking for.
No, it wasn't smug. I was gonna say sort of like humble.
A little smug.
It's kind of smug.
No, I'd go with smug, not humble.
Maybe.
They're kind of opposites, and you're definitely on the smug end of the spectrum.
Yeah, well, okay, fine, whatever. But when I'm wrong, I will say I'm wrong. And I got this wrong when I was 12. I got it wrong when I was 20. I got it wrong when I was 30. He's still here.
Yeah, and the weird thing is he's still relevant, and he plays an accordion. Like, you wouldn't think accordion music would wind up topping the charts.
So he got an accordion from a door-to-door salesman when he was 7.
Oh, is that weird? Okay, awesome.
Yeah, it was a door-to-door salesman that was selling either guitar or accordion lessons. And his dad went with accordion because I guess there was some.
Well, his father is an accordion player.
No.
Grandfather?
No, there's some other Yankovic that is no relation to them that was a famous accordion player.
Oh, okay.
So anyways, his dad was a medic. But anyways, he
was he like a surgeon?
Cutting for the very first time.
He's a war medic.
That was a very good pun, Kirk. I got to give you full marks for that one. 10 points to Hufflepuff.
Well, not only that, I served you the greatest softball.
Mm-hmm.
And you hit it out of the park.
So anyways, he skipped like 2 grades in elementary school, entered high school 2 years early because of it, and was just kind of a loner who stayed at home a lot of the time and played his guitar, and joined a bunch of extracurriculars in school. Apparently, like yearbook and glee club and something else, and then the Volcano Admiration Society or something, which apparently wasn't a real club. They just all put it together in order to get an extra picture in the yearbook. Which really cracked me up.
That tracks.
Awesome.
Yeah. So then he in university was just kind of the nerdy guy, and the Weird Al nickname was not intended to be nice, and he just kind of
owned it,
went with it. Yep.
Like Fat Amy.
But like Fat Amy. But he at one point, I think when he was about 10,
and then she got hot, and now she's straight.
Amy.
But anyway, sorry, but go on.
He when he was like 10, he decided to stop with the accordion lessons and just learn on his own, because he wanted to start learning rock songs on the accordion.
You know, my brother had an accordion.
My grandma played the accordion. Probably still could.
Yeah, when my family, well, I wasn't born yet. My brother's 8 years older than me, so they moved to Rhodesia, now Zimbabwe, and so my brother was taking not Zimbabwe lessons, nice Kirk, accordion lessons, and he was so upset that the accordion got damaged in the move.
Yeah. It's a tough instrument to play.
We can't talk about this song without talking about the fact that Weird Al had a backup dancer.
Oh yeah. And you know why he had Donny Osmond as his backup dancer?
No, I didn't get that far into it.
Apparently it was the whitest dude he could think of.
This close.
Nice. Nice. We just about had the stream cut off there because Kirk just about had a stream issue for it.
It tracks, right?
Yeah.
And I mean, you can't get more nerdy than his backup dancing.
No, it's beautiful. And a lot of it was like unrehearsed. It's just him. Like there's a couple of moves that they do together, but it's just him just flailing.
And apparently he had decided that's what he was going to do going into it. I mean, the man can dance. He spent his childhood singing and dancing. So the fact that he's just crazy flailing is pretty epic.
I think
so. That was kind of neat.
I was gonna say my favorite thing about Weird Al at this point, later on after this, was it after this or was it from this album? I think it was after this. He had his first ever #1 album. So like he had a #1 album in the 2010s. At least I know that. I don't know whether it was from this song, which is so crazy that that actually happened. I'll admit I got a few things wrong on my website. One second time I'm admitting something I got wrong. Yeah, well, don't get
maybe the humility will kick in one day.
No. This is about as good as it gets.
Just smug.
Well, there you go. The core of my website, which is how it began like 12 years ago, which was all about ranking those who are not in the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. And I got a couple emails saying like, how come I didn't rank Weird Al? He's now ranked, but it took like multiple emails for me to actually do that.
I'm seeing here that he did chart #1 for U.S. comedy albums. #10 on the Billboard 200 was the highest that Straight Outta Linwood went.
You sure you didn't go #1 overall? Because I'm pretty sure you did.
Straight Outta Linwood was the one that White and Nerdy was on.
Okay.
And that was 2006, and that was, it went gold. It went #1 for comedy albums. It went #10 for top internet albums, and 10 for Billboard 200.
Okay, so I feel like he was, but you know, Weird Al discography.
Now maybe one of his other ones went higher, but Straight Outta Linwood didn't crack the
I didn't think it was this one. I think it was something that came after.
Oh, really?
Yeah, if I remember correctly. So I'm looking here. Dun, 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 dun. Yeah, Mandatory Fun 2014.
Oh, okay.
Because I remember like hearing a couple things like how weird is that this happened? Weird, pardon, but that it happened. And again, like this guy just survives because like how many times have the three of us talked about goofballs, weird people, strange people, and they're gone. Weird Al Yankovic has been a factor for 40 plus years, 45 years?
Well, put him starting in the mid 80s, let's say. That's when he
yeah, I want to say he got his break on Dr. Demento.
Yes, that's
when
right.
He was 18. He had made his own mixtape of covers and parody songs that I think he was working at a radio station after he graduated. So he he was working at the university radio station, I believe. But I could be wrong. Anyway, he got this tape to Dr. Demento, who decided he kind of liked it and played it on the radio. So that's where he kind of got his start. And then 2006 when White and Nerdy came out, he'd been doing this for 30 years. So
82 and 83. So he had I Love Rocky Road, which food themed thing, was when he got 82, and 83 was Oh Ricky, you're so fine, you blow my mind. Hey Ricky. Yeah.
Also, if I can, he's the only person. Do either of you watch the Goldbergs?
I've seen a couple episodes of the Goldbergs. Yeah, it's kind of neat. It's a little trip down memory lane.
Right. So, like, sometimes they'll get actual 80s people sort of like play themselves.
Mm-hmm.
The only person who would play himself who looks like he still was himself.
Which is the man has not aged. He looks exactly like he did in the 80s, I swear.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. I'd like to I still have to, like I was saying before, I've got to see the Weird Al Yankovic movie, because Daniel Radcliffe plays Weird Al and learned the accordion for the role.
That sounds very, very Daniel Radcliffe like.
Mm-hmm.
Have you
Harry Potter
seen
money?
him? Have you seen him in whatchamacallit, where he sings "Coming Around the Mountain" and in Wild Wild West, Can Girl attire?
Oh,
Um,
Dancing with the Stars?
no,
No?
no. It's a TV show. Miracle
Oh,
Makers. Miracle Makers.
yes,
I highly
Miracle
recommend
Workers.
watching it. Miracle Workers, yeah.
Yes.
3 seasons, 3 completely different storylines.
Yes.
But yeah, Daniel Radcliffe dressed up as a Can Girl, singing
Mhm.
"Coming Around the Mountain."
And killing it.
Oh, and supposedly just out of, not the actor, but the character high, out of his mind on some sort of hallucinogen.
Seeing him
It's
in
quite
Horns
excellent.
was fantastic, and Swiss Army Man, another one. That was Elijah Wood.
No, that was Daniel Radcliffe farting his way through yep.
So many people didn't like that. I cried.
I mean, all he did was just be a corpse and farted.
Well, fuck, I can do that.
But he did it well.
Someone doesn't know about Swiss Army Man.
No, I don't know what the hell we're talking about.
You got to watch Swiss Army Man, dude.
I've never watched Harry Potter.
No,
you don't have to watch Harry Potter.
No, Swiss Army Man is, so basically Daniel Radcliffe went, I've got more money than I'll ever spend from Harry Potter, so I'm gonna do whatever the fuck I want.
Yes.
So he made this movie called Swiss Army Man, where he plays a corpse. Like, he and his buddy are on a desert island, and he's now dead. I don't remember if he died before or after. Anyways, he's washed up on this desert island dead. His friend is still alive.
Corpse legacy's
and
dead.
he just uses Daniel Radcliffe's corpse to do things, and then eventually ends up escaping the island by using him as a sea-doo propelled by farts.
Yeah, and there's also like the rigor mortis in the arm that you can use to chop wood and stuff like this. It's really well done. It's a really touching story at the end. And it's open-ended, so it leaves you with the question of, did this happen, or did Buddy go crazy? Or, it's kind of neat to be able to go through and watch it. No spoilers or anything like that. But then seeing him in Horns as well, a revenge movie, was when you've got fuck you money from Harry Potter, you do what you want. Like Rupert Grint is his name, the redhead.
Yeah, Ron Weasley.
Yeah.
He just, he bought an ice cream truck?
He went and bought an ice cream van and then went around.
Drives around, gives away
ice cream. Yeah, he's like, this is what I do. Like, when you've got fuck you money, you get to go in and live your dreams out, so you can become a farting corpse or an ice cream man.
Mm-hmm.
And then insult the person who sort of like made it happen.
We're not going to get onto the turf argument here.
Nope.
I'm not wrong. Both can be true.
Either way, not part of this discussion.
This is where we're going off the rail. Okay.
Where's my flag for Switzerland? I just want to hold that up over here.
I'm not on anyone's side. I'm just.
We will not take sides with anybody. Give us your money.
Yes.
So let's get back to.
Do you want to see my chamber of secrets?
No? It's got gold coins in it.
No.
Kind of a hairy little tunnel there, I'm telling you.
Turkey in the Chocolate Factory.
Starring Johnny Depp.
Oh, reel us in, Andrea. It's getting bad.
Well, do we have anything more to say?
I don't know. Do you want me to go back on turfs?
No. Anything more to say about Weird Al?
No, other than the fact that I think the fact that this song that you picked, Brad, was 23 years after he broke out.
Mm-hmm.
And then so then we did verify that he had his first #1 album 8 years after this. Weird Al, I mean, like we could have picked really any song.
Oh yeah, I just went with his highest rated one. This is not my favorite.
Yeah, no, I mean, it's impressive. We've sort of alluded to him many times before in the past. I've joked that Andrea is the reason why a bunch of incels are sort of thinking they have a shot because you've referenced Weird Al and other things.
And Muppets.
Well, no, Muppets are the reason why incel women, although there are no such thing.
There are no, they're
Themselves.
voluntary. They may not realize they're voluntarily celibate, but
There's no such thing. It's an involuntary celibate female.
No, all you have to do, I've found at least, all you have to do is just keep lowering your standards till you get a bite. And then you stay there.
That's
this is why I'm voluntarily celibate these days.
You're not willing to go down past 3?
The bar for men is so low, it's a tavern in Hades.
She's not wrong. She's not wrong.
And yet your neighbor wasn't able to cross that bar.
No, I'm not lowering myself to that. I'm not visiting that tavern. I'm staying surface level here.
All right then. Well, would you like to know what we got next week?
I would very much like to know that.
Tell us what you've got for next week.
All right, so this is sort of an homage to the city I'm currently living in. I don't know for how much longer, but I'm still.
I hate Winnipeg.
Yeah, actually, I kind of love Winnipeg. Winnipeg's been great.
Okay, so it's not arrogant worms.
How cold is it there right now, Kirk?
It's super cold, but I don't have a car. I don't walk to work, and even my beautiful wife, she can walk through the skywalk. So the only time we go outside is when I'm taking my dogs out to take a shit. So it's really not that bad. I mean, like it's. I hated winter when it was all car related.
There, yeah.
And I don't have a car right now, so like I don't need one because I do everything here in Mount Manitoba. So I picked something that was actually sort of recommended to me by a friend of mine who I've sort of like made friends with here in the great city of Winnipeg, and he said like we should do something from this city, and I've kicked this around a bit, and it's a song that sounds like it's about constipation, but it really isn't. Crash Test Dummies.
Oh, God shuffled his feet. No, that's.
I don't know.
Once there was a kid.
Yeah. Basically, like this guy
I can't do
sounds
that
like
voice,
he's trying to like take a shit the entire song, and then he does. So we're doing.
You're just jealous that you can't reach that level of like speaker rattling.
There's a lot of things I'm jealous of. That's not one of them, but we'll run with that.
Okay. He's got wicked hair, and he can go.
Does he still? I don't know.
I don't know. I haven't seen him recently. He doesn't come over. He doesn't call. He doesn't write. I worry.
Not even an email.
Yeah, so I mean, I thought, and that did exceptionally well, crossed over to the United States of America. So I thought that would be sort of like an interesting thing to sort of do while I'm still here in the peg.
I didn't realize the Crash Test Dummies were Peggians.
I didn't either until I learned that from the bar I go to.
I thought they were from someplace way more interesting.
Like Winnipeg's awesome. I don't know what to tell you. Also, right now, the Winnipeg Jets, as we're recording this, are the top team in the National Hockey League. Go Jets, go. Brad, hockey is a game that they play on ice.
Mm-hmm.
And if you're in Quebec, they play hockey on the ice. They move the H's everywhere.
Also, if you're in Massachusetts, then they move the R's.
Mm-hmm. As with Maine, a lot of
No R's in hockey on the ice.
No, just R's in general. They take the R's off of words that have them, and they put them on words that don't.
Yeah.
It's like pluralizing in the eastern states.
Well, it's like they're going to go to the bar, and they drive there in their car.
No, they lost their khakis.
Yeah,
they lost their khakis, which could mean they're running pantsless or they can't start an engine.
Yeah, I've often said, and apologies if I lose all the Boston viewers here. Angelina Jolie, circa 1995, with a Boston accent, goes from a 10 to a 1.
Oh, I don't know about that. Bill Burr, Boston accent. He's been in Star Wars with a Boston accent.
It's not the same thing.
But he's a redhead, and I have to represent my people.
There's a lot of redheads you could represent, but you also don't have a Boston accent. So, nor have you been in Star Wars.
No,
Yeah.
I printed out some Star Wars things, though.
All right.
So,
with that,
so we are doing Crash Test Dummies next week.
we're doing Crash Test Dummies next week. If you want to see more from me in the Buchnerverse, check out a Booker.
What's the matter, McFly? Chicken?
Well done. I did that to myself. On Amazon, Chavo Guerrero instant classic about the late great Chavo Guerrero Sr. There's a pile of other things here in the Buchnerverse. The weekly show I do with Evan Nolan, where we look at Hall of Fame related stuff. Vinny Laspinuso and I do piles upon piles of shows where he looks at some interesting people making Hall of Fame cases. There is a giant series coming out where we made our Pro Football Hall of Fame, our lineal wants for that. My God, there's just so much other stuff. Also, a pile of interviews that I've done with some people who have done some great books. So that are Hall of Fame / sports related. I've just spoke to a gentleman from the fan-sided part of for the Atlanta Falcons, where we're just doing just some great conversations about sports. So basically, if you're interested in this, everything that I just said, you won't care about. But if there's any kind of Venn diagram in the middle, maybe you will like it. I don't know. I hope so.
Hey, you exist, so others like you also exist. That's a scary thought. Other people that like music and sports also exist.
Here's the funny thing, Andrea, because you always said, like, we get Brad on this. Actually, I wanted Brad on this show because eventually there was the before Brad, where I sort of suggested, and then I met Brad. So like, hey, let's make him a permanent part of this. He said, like, you and Brad are so much alike. And then, but he knows nothing about sports. Like, what the fuck?
No,
yeah,
I never think about
personality, not interests.
Yeah. We can both get a little animated. We both have our passions. The way you think about sports all the time is the way I think about titties.
It's not that
concerning. You need more hobbies, Brad.
What's wrong with that? It's way more important than sports, I think.
Twice as much.
Yeah, because there's two of them. There's only one sport at a time.
Unless they had a mastectomy.
No, either way, I'm in.
Kill this, please.
How about we not talk about titties anymore tonight? And so you've talked about, I think, all your shows. Shall we say goodnight?
Yeah. And with that, wherever you are, wherever it may be, with your uniboob, it's possible. I don't want to be.
Hey, I've worn sports bras that do that, just all together.
One boob to rule them all.
One of Andrea's boobs could rule them all.
Only one. I don't even need both.
I was gonna say that.
What happened to not talking about boobs? Like, was this just a rule that was inflicted on me?
I don't know.
Yes. As I say, not as I do. How about good night, everybody?
Not for me.
Yeah, we'll just do that. Wherever you are, wherever you may be, stay safe, everyone. This day won't come again. And my God, Jesus Christ, I fell off the rail again.
Good night, everybody.
Bye.